Good Wednesday morning. This is Pastor Mark Pierce with another Bible study for you out of the book of Matthew. We're continuing to take a look at Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, and I continue to be at this broken down bridge where the road is being repaired. I've gone a little bit beyond the sign this morning and am seated right above the creek that the bridge is supposed to go over. Still enjoying this gorgeous day and would love to share a Bible study with you. Today we want to extend our study just a little bit, going a few more verses than the ones we did yesterday, but just to put it into context, let's go ahead and pick up with Matthew 5, verse 27, and we'll read through to verse 30 today. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than that your whole body be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than that your whole body go into hell. For the last couple of days, we've been taking a look at this issue of adultery, and we defined it as having a sexual relationship outside of the bounds of marriage with a married man or a married woman. In our 21st century idea, either way, it's wrong. And certainly even in the first century, it was wrong. It just wasn't technically under the verb of morkia. It was more of the porneia idea. But Jesus is talking here about marriage being very, very sacred. And I don't want to get too far down the road in terms of this idea of marriage relationship, because he's about to go there himself when he talks about divorce in verse 31 and forward. But here he is saying, hey, this is a road that's closed for you. There is a way of enjoying, and I have designed you to enjoy the sexual relationship with one man and one woman. That's the way that it's supposed to be, and you shouldn't go outside of that. And in fact, the penalty for adultery was very severe. It was the death penalty. So here, Jesus is saying, you've heard that this is really a place you don't want to go and that the penalty is very, very severe. Let me tell you something else. I'm saying that even if you think it in your heart, if you lustfully desire and stay with that lustful intent, that not the first look that tempts you, but the look that keeps on looking, the deliberate going to where you shouldn't go, the deliberate thinking thoughts that you shouldn't be thinking. He said, for you, that is the same thing as adultery. In fact, you've already committed adultery in your mind. And then he goes on, and this is where we want to see the new stuff today for this Wednesday. He goes on to say that if your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. Now, over the centuries, men have misunderstood this and have taken it literally and have thought perhaps that Jesus was teaching about mutilation. I don't think this is the case at all. This is exaggerated speech. He is exaggerating to make a point. And he is saying to you that it would be better for you. This is how serious this issue of adultery is. It would be better for you to lose your eye than it would be for you to continue to look lustfully. Or it would be better for you to lose your hand than it would be for you to go and do something that would involve lust. In other words, as is the case all the way through here, when Jesus is talking about the fulfillment of the law, he is talking about how things are in our heart and where we are at inside. That God knows who we are even better than we do on the inside, not the out. Men judge by the outward action. And so we might think, well, you know, I might have undressed her in my mind, but at least I never did it. Well, that would be a very, according to Jesus, a very Pharisaic way of thinking. He's saying, don't go there, even in your mind. Don't even think about it. And if looking at a woman is a problem for you, then do what you have to do to stop looking, even if it means plucking out your right eye. Now, in our 21st century mind, often we don't understand this idea of the right eye or the right hand. You see, the right eye was always considered in the first century thinking to be the better eye. The right hand was always considered to be the strongest hand. And so the idea here is you sacrifice whatever it is that you need to sacrifice in order to keep you from going where you shouldn't be going. That's the idea. In other words, you need to really be thinking about this. You really need to be taking this seriously. Now, for us today, what does that mean? We know that we live in an unprecedented time of lust, an unprecedented time of adultery, the way that Jesus defines it, because it is so rampant today for us to be able to find pornography on the internet. It's estimated that today 40 million Americans, by one estimate, are daily involved in some form of internet pornography. The way that this is hurting our culture and our families, and frankly our children, is beyond the pale. And so you need to do what you have to do. Well, for you, what would it mean if this is an issue for you? This wonderful tool that even I use, right? I mean, this is an internet video. But it would be better for you never to watch a Bible study on the internet if it meant that you wouldn't be tempted to watch something you shouldn't be watching on the internet. You need to be thinking about this very seriously if this is a struggle for you, and it's estimated that it is for so many people, that you need to take steps. What does it mean for you to gouge out your eye or to cut off your arm? Let me give you one recommendation. If you have a problem with this, go to xxxchurch.com. That's xxxchurch.com. And I think you'll find some very good accountability software. You have the opportunity there, if this is a problem, one of the ways that you can prevent yourself from going to a place where you shouldn't be is to take some of the steps that they have available for you there. I don't have time to go into all the details here, but that is one reference. There are many others. Have accountability. Have a chance for you to speak with your wife or an accountability partner about these very real temptations. But do what's necessary to protect yourself and to protect your family, to stay true to this relationship that is so important. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you again on Thursday morning.